Hello! Today I'd like to give you guys some food for thought, and let's discuss how the Western diet impacts our gut microbiome. In today's age, we are constantly surrounded by processed foods like candy, fast food, whether that's Taco Bell or Chick-fil-A, sweets and treats, and hamburgers and french fries galore. And I am just as guilty of this. There's a Culver's less than a mile from where I live. And while these are associated with being convenient and tasty, they're definitely not associated with any health benefits. Our sugar consumption has skyrocketed from about 90 pounds being consumed per year in 1900 to over 180 pounds being consumed every year today. Our obesity prevalence has also increased from 13.4% in 1980 to 34.3% in 2008. And our incidence of inflammatory bowel disease has gone from 7.3 to 30.2 per 100,000 people in North America alone. Now, these are some stark differences in our health that are only getting worse as we increase our consumption of Western diet foods and prepackaged snacks. To quote Zoomin Shi, our diet provides not only the nutrients we need, but also the material and medium for sustenance and growth of our gut bacteria. So could it be that all these commodity foods are having a lot larger impact on our health through our gut? Let's dive into this. The Western diet is characterized as being higher in total fat and animal proteins, as well as polyunsaturated fatty acids and refined sugars. Typically, the food is highly processed and highly palatable and has a longer shelf life. And notably, it is depleted in fiber. Now, there's already been a lot of studies that have looked at the impact of the Western diet on the gut microbiota and therefore overall health. And these studies have found that there's an increased risk of mortality and depression. And we also see a decrease in our gut diversity, not just as individuals, but also as a community. And these changes can occur in as little as 2 days. We also see that eating a Western diet and the gut dysbiosis as a result can make it easier for bad guys like Salmonella and E. coli to colonize our guts, which leads to other health problems. We see that the Western diet causes more inflammation in our gut and decreased barrier integrity and decreased short-chain fatty acid production, which is what our colon cells need to thrive. This then leads to further disease development, such as Crohn's disease or irritable bowel disease, and we see a slower bounce back after antibiotic treatment, and that's shown in this graph. You can see this nice diversity that quickly recovers after antibiotic treatment, and this is not on a Western diet. Versus here on a Western diet, there's a decreased diversity at the beginning, and it takes longer for our microbes to return to normal after treatment. We also know that the dysbiosis can lead to cardiovascular complications, Alzheimer's disease, even cancer, and other health problems. One study found that mice that were fed a Western diet that had a healthy gut microbiome remained lean versus mice that had a Western diet-like microbiome and who were fed a Western diet became obese. Then when these microbes were transplanted into a healthy mouse, these mice also became obese. So clearly there's a link between what we're eating and our health. So what are some things that we can do? Now, I'm not saying that everyone has to become a crunchy almond mom or start their own homestead, but there are some easy swaps we can make. Maybe consider adding a probiotic supplement. A lot of these are linked to reducing inflammation and disease development. Or maybe just skip on the freezer meal a couple nights a week and instead opt for lots of fruits and veggies and a balanced diet. This also should serve as a wake-up call that maybe we should be paying more attention into our food additives and the need to regulate what we are adding and the amounts, and instead studying the actual effects that they can have on our health and our gut microbiome. After all, we are what we eat, and that includes our gut bugs.